Are you slaving away at your job and not getting paid shit like a goddamn normie? It's okay, we've all been there. Maybe this will help. In contrast to what you may have heard from your typical mom and pop advice gurus, not everyone can or should start a business and trade crypto or short stocks.
You're not that guy, pal. Trust me. You're not that guy.
I'm not here to give you a get-rich-quick boner or make you weak in the knees with some passive income ASMR. Instead, here's my 2 cents on what it takes to be a well-paid professional. Because some people, including me, for some period of their lives at least, just want to do a job, do it well, and get paid.
I don't know who you are. I don't know what you want. But I have a very particular lack of skills.
If you want to get paid, you have to be a professional at something. And to be a professional at something, you need the something. AKA, you need a skill. Otherwise, you're fucked and you won't get paid. Because the harsh but logical truth of it is, unskilled workers don't get shit and have no leverage. If every able-bodied leather asshole has the skills to do your job, then you have to settle for whatever someone offers you and shut the fuck up. If you don't, you get replaced real quick. Maybe that's not a view of the world that brings a lot of warmth to the wrinkle purse, but that's the reality and that's where we operate. However, a skill is not just something you get from a 4-year degree. For example, if you're an unskilled worker with exceptional communication skills and a good work ethic, that might be enough for you to wriggle yourself into some leverage with your employer. Because most people suck, and your workplace is probably no exception, so you'll stand out in a positive way just by not being a fucking nadav. But still, the ceiling on that is pretty low if you have no skills.
Fill out some fucking applications and get you a fucking job, okay?
Get a job where you get to use and practice your skill set. You might have to settle for some dogshit jobs at first, but that's fine. We've all been there. Even when your job is dogshit, you should still do your absolute best. You should always do your absolute best because you only hurt yourself by slacking off and coasting. If doing your best is truly pointless at the current place, then switch places immediately. Don't even fucking think about complaining that, "Wah, my job sucks." That's loser behavior, and you're better than that. That's it. That's all there is in this step. I'm not giving you a goddamn guide on how to get a job. If given the absolute magical superpowers of the internet, you're still unable to figure out how to get a job for your skill set, then either your skill set sucks or you suck. Either way, why would anyone pay you more money than you would get for waiting tables? Moving on.
Anyway, you're all losers. We've discussed this before.
If you want to get paid well, then from the very beginning, from the job interview, you need to make it clear to your potential employer what you expect to get paid and that you are motivated by money first. What I mean by money first is that while you may like your job, maybe even have a certain level of passion for it, you wouldn't ever work for someone else for free, right? More than that, you want to be well compensated for your skills and time, otherwise, what's the point? So, as far as they're concerned, you're motivated by money first. Don't bullshit them about your motivations. If you're honest, they will either understand and respect you for it, or they won't understand, in which case, you now know that this person is either a moron or wants to exploit you, or both. And that's valuable information. You don't want to work for that person, trust me. At least not for a long time. By the way, based on conversations with coworkers, friends, managers, apparently this whole idea of fuck you pay me as an approach to work relationships can be a hang-up for some people. I guess it's understandable.
I understand.
Because you're afraid of looking greedy and ungrateful for the opportunity. But in reality, if you have a skill, then the opportunity is not just a one-way thing. You want the job and they want your skill. So, no one is doing anyone any favors here. The company will be working to pay you as little as humanly possible, but from your side, you need to push to get paid as much as humanly possible. Unless you want to be a corporate simp, get paid fuck all, and drink your company's bathwater just for them letting you work there. And if you're the type of person who's gonna start crying about human rights and work reform and...
We still need communism.
Just stop for a fucking Mississippi second and consider that there's nothing unfair about this whole dynamic. It's completely normal. It's what companies do. They make money. And if they can save some money by paying you less because you roll over and let them, they will. And arguably, they should. The point I'm trying to make is that for skilled people, employment is not a privilege or a gift. It's a transaction. And all those people crying about not getting paid enough have mostly themselves to blame for it. Show me a self-proclaimed victim of capitalism and I'll show you someone who will blame everything and everyone else before looking at themselves. Okay, I know, oversimplification Andy out here, but you get my point. Now, naturally, if you adopt this demanding approach, it might be a little more difficult for you to find a job. But that's okay. When you are demanding, you will deal with more rejection, but if you can hang in there, you will end up getting a better deal than the person who settles for scraps. The people who settle for shitty jobs, because they're afraid of not getting a job or having to deal with the rejection, end up in shitty jobs and have to either be miserable or quit and look for a new job again.
Oh, who the fuck are you? I'm the guy who does his job. You must be the other guy.
You got the job. Congrats. Here's the tricky part where most people fail. You actually have to be good at your job. This doesn't mean that you have to be the best at the skill set you have. From my experience, in most, if not all workplaces, most people are just coasting. So you don't have to be exceptionally skilled. Instead, a good work ethic and an organized, diligent approach to your work will be enough. Take notes during meetings. Learn to write emails and messages in a clear way. Suggest improvements. Be friendly to your coworkers. Don't engage in office drama. I repeat, do not fuck your coworkers. Additionally, if you're doing your actual job well, you would not fucking believe how far you can get in a decent workplace simply by also doing the absolute bare minimum of showing up on time always. Because most people don't think that anyone will notice or care if they show up a couple minutes late to a meeting twice a week. Those people are wrong.
You're fired. You're fired. You're fired. You're fired. You're fired.
The price is 50. How about your payment is you get to leave?
Asking for a raise can be intimidating. A negotiation is a confrontation, and confrontations, of course, are uncomfortable. I get it. But fucking obviously, sometimes you have to do shit that makes you uncomfortable. Here are a couple of points to help you with that. If you don't have the confrontation, you don't get a raise. Worst case, you gain useful information. The confrontation might not go your way, but that's great because either you find out that the company doesn't want to pay you more and then you can fuck off to a different company, or you might learn that your boss has some good points about why you might not deserve as big a raise as you think. Either way, you will get very useful information. Before you ask for a raise, you need to make sure you're ready though. To quote John Goodman in The Gambler,
A wise man's life is based around fuck you.
ask from a position of fuck you. Maybe already have a job offer or some interviews lined up. Have some money saved up if possible. Have your resignation ready and be prepared to hand it in right there in the meeting if you're not satisfied with what you're getting from your employer. Don't be a fucking queen about it either. Be respectful, polite, no drama. Something like, I understand your position and I would like to continue working here, but unfortunately that won't be possible. Thank you for your time. If they start giving you a fucking ear beating about loyalty and here at Timmy's Terrific Tit Tassels, we're like a family, man, and we're passionate about tit tassels, not money. Don't fall for that bullshit. Go back to this timestamp in the video and remind yourself that no one is doing anyone any favors here. It's all transactional. When you're asking for a raise, by the way, you should understand something. The highest paid professionals change jobs every 2 years or so, because changing a job gets you a higher raise usually. Once you understand this, I would recommend using this in negotiations. Your boss, unless they're a fucking moron, already knows this stat. If they see that you know it too, then they can safely come to the conclusion that you're aware of your options, and if they don't give you what you want, you will get it elsewhere. Communicate clearly that if your salary at the company doesn't grow at the same rate as it would if you were to change jobs, then you will change jobs. Because fucking duh. Spoiler alert, by the way, your salary is very, very highly unlikely to change at the same rate at the same job when compared to how it would change if you switch jobs. So yes, technically you're asking for something that you should already know you most likely won't get. But that's fine, that's the whole point. Put some pressure on these motherfuckers, let them know where you stand and what you want. The worst thing that can happen is that you won't get what you ask for and then you just move on to another job, one with a considerably higher salary. The best thing that can happen, however, is them working harder to make you happy for fear of you leaving. And that's the process. You can repeat it until you hit a ceiling, because if you work for others, there's always going to be a ceiling. But 1, the ceiling is usually pretty high or high enough. 2, your level of income shouldn't be the most important thing about your balance sheet, aka it doesn't fucking matter how much money you make if you live above your means like a fucking moron. And 3, after you hit the ceiling, you can either be satisfied with the quality of life you've provided for yourself, or you can go do your own thing. Start a company, sell cum catchers on Etsy, start a YouTube channel. You know, all those things people do when they have too much free time and they're on the brink of losing their fucking minds. You know what? You know what? Thanks for watching the video. Mwah.